This Kirkland home just had a $125,000 price improvement. It was previously listed at 1.624950 and now it's offered at about 1.499 million. We're talking 4 bedrooms plus an office, 2.5 bathrooms, almost 3,000 square feet, and location right here in Kirkland. So the question is, what does just under 1.5 million get you in Kirkland right now? Let's go inside. Welcome to Kirkland, Washington. I'm Emily Orlandini, a local real estate broker here in the greater Seattle area, and today I am taking you through this home room by room. This property is located in the Finn Hill area of Kirkland and has 4 bedrooms plus a dedicated office, 2.5 bathrooms, and a little over 2,900 square feet. And like I mentioned, it just had a pretty significant price improvement of $125,000, bringing the new asking price to about $1.5 million. The home itself is on a corner lot of a dead-end street, so even though you're in Kirkland and close to everything, you still get more of that residential neighborhood feel. Okay, let's keep looking around. One of the first things I notice when I walk in here is how bright it feels. You have the hardwood floors, tall ceilings, and a lot of natural light coming in. And at almost 3,000 square feet, this is definitely not a small house. What I like about the floor plan is that you have separation between the different spaces without the house feeling closed off. Here is that 3-car tandem garage that we have in there. And now we'll keep moving. Coming through here, you have an additional living and dining space. This is something that I think you'll appreciate if you entertain a lot because you aren't relying on one single living room for everything. You can have a more formal space here and then a completely separate family room where you're actually watching TV and hanging out. And as we continue through the main floor, you'll see how everything starts connecting back together around the kitchen. And I love this little area right off the kitchen. You have a dedicated coffee and wine bar with a built-in wine fridge, so you can keep your coffee set up out here instead of taking up counter space in the main kitchen. And at night, it basically turns into your own little wine bar. And it's just one of those smaller details that just makes the house feel a little more elevated. Now, obviously, we are in the kitchen, which is one of the most important rooms in pretty much any house. There is a lot of counter space in here, plenty of storage. You also have this pantry. It's huge, but what I really like is the way the space connects to the family room. If you are cooking or getting dinner ready, you're not completely separated from everyone else, and if you have kids, you can actually see what's happening in the living space while you're here, so I just think it's really great. And this is where I always tell buyers to think just beyond what a house looks like, but think about how you would actually live in it. Where are you making your morning coffee? Where are people sitting when you have friends over? Where are you unloading groceries? Those little things make a huge difference once you actually live somewhere. And in this house, the kitchen really feels like the main center. Now that we are outside, you can see that you have a fully fenced outdoor space back here, which is always nice if you have kids or pets or just want a little more privacy. There is a space for outdoor seating, dining, and you have the hot tub there, which is great, but I could definitely see this being a great entertaining space during Seattle summers. All right, let's head back inside and go upstairs. Upstairs is where you're going to find all 4 bedrooms, including the primary suite. So let's start there. Again, there is a lot of lighting. They also just put in about $100,000 worth of renovations into this house. So new roof, exterior paint, interior paint, quartz countertops, super beautiful. So you'll see a lot of those details throughout. In addition to the primary room, we have these 3 additional bedrooms upstairs. They're all a good size, and having 4 actual bedrooms plus that office downstairs gives you quite a bit of flexibility. Maybe you need 3 kids' rooms, maybe you want a guest room, or maybe you want an upstairs workout room or a second office. You have enough rooms here that you don't have to make every space serve 2 or 3 purposes. And there's another full bathroom up here servicing these bedrooms as well. And then you also have the laundry right off to the side with more storage overhead with those cabinets, a sink in here as well, which makes things really functional and easy. So that's always great to have. We've got some storage off to the side here, which is great. One thing throughout this house that you'll notice is there is not a lack of storage. You'll always find a way to fill it once you have it. And next we'll go on to the third bedroom up here before we get to the primary. While we're going there, let's talk about where you are. So you're in the Finn Hill area of Kirkland, which gives you more of a residential feel while still keeping you close to everything that makes Kirkland such a popular place to live. You have access to parks and outdoor recreation nearby. You're not far from Juanita, and you can get into downtown Kirkland pretty easily. And of course, being on the east side puts you within reach of major employment centers throughout Kirkland, Bellevue, and Redmond. You have Microsoft, you have Amazon, and that's one of the reasons Kirkland continues to be such a competitive market, because you're getting the neighborhoods and access to outdoor space while still being close to some of the biggest employment hubs in the region. And here is that second full bathroom, which serves the 3 additional bedrooms upstairs. The vanity has recently been refinished, and I really like that it gives the secondary bedrooms their own dedicated bathroom without anyone having to use the primary. It's really a practical setup, especially for kids, guests, or just larger households. Taking a look at this closet space in here, these are just the things that you aren't necessarily going to see on your Instagram feed, but absolutely matter when you live somewhere. You've got storage throughout the home, an attached garage, and plenty of functional space for everyday life. Those aren't necessarily the exciting parts of a house tour, but they're usually some of the first things my buyers start paying attention to when we're actually comparing homes. This is the primary bedroom, and first of all, there is plenty of room in here for a king-size bed without the furniture taking over the entire room. You could add nightstands, dressers, and even create a little sitting area depending on how you want to set it up. You also have a walk-in closet, and then right through here is the primary bathroom. You've got the large soaking tub, separate shower, and plenty of room to get ready. And I think having the separate tub and shower is really nice in a primary suite at this price point. But overall, this feels like a true primary suite rather than just having a large bedroom with a bathroom attached to it. Now that we've seen the upstairs, I want to head back down and take another look at the main living space, because I think this is really where this home shines. One thing you don't always get from listing photos is how a floor plan actually feels when you're walking through it. And this one has a really nice flow between the kitchen, dining area, living spaces, while still giving each room its own purpose. Coming back into the kitchen, I think this is one of those spaces that would really become the center of everyday life in this house. There's enough room to have people gathered around without everyone feeling like they're on top of each other, and I like that you can still see into the family room if you have kids and entertain a lot. And when I tour homes with buyers, I always tell them to pay attention to the details beyond the initial wow factor. Things like the appliances, storage, counter space, and how much room you actually have to prep and cook are the things that you're going to notice every single day once you live here. So looking at the things like opening cabinets, seeing if they're soft closed, looking at the oven, opening it up, seeing how everything's working is really important, and how much space that you're gonna have. There's also a really good amount of cabinetry throughout the kitchen, which is something that I think is easy to overlook during a quick showing. Think about everything from small appliances to serving dishes and all of the random things that somehow accumulate in a kitchen. Having enough storage means you can actually keep these counters looking clean instead of having everything sitting out. Here you've got the dishwasher. Open that really quick just to take a look. And then we're now on to the coffee and wine bar again. And this might be one of my favorite little details on the main floor. You have this separate coffee bar and wine area with the wine refrigerator. So in the morning, you could have your entire coffee set up over here without taking up space in the main kitchen, which I just think is really convenient. And again, flowing back into the dining space, just feels like a dining room you would actually use since everything is so connected to it, and you could easily dress this up for the holidays, birthdays, or having a bigger group over. You can also just continue to see how much natural light really is in this house. There are windows everywhere, and it just makes it so great, especially if you have lived here for a long time. You know how dark it can get in the fall and the winter, and so having all of these windows and natural light really helps. And then we're back into the family room with the fireplace really anchoring the space. I think this room would feel especially cozy during a Seattle winter. You've got the fireplace going, you're still connected to the kitchen, and then during the summer you can open everything up and use the outdoor space. I always like a house that works differently depending on the season, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. And now, leaving the living room, we are going to go ahead and head back to the office or den area in the front of the house. I really do think having this dedicated space on the main floor is a big selling point. You're getting 4 bedrooms upstairs, so you don't have to turn the bedroom into an office. And with the French doors, it really still feels connected to the rest of the house while giving you the ability to close it off. When I'm looking at this house from a buyer's perspective, I think the biggest strengths are the amount of usable space, having 4 bedrooms plus a true office, and the way the main floor functions. You have multiple living spaces without the house feeling disconnected, and there are a lot of those smaller functional details like extra storage and the coffee bar and wine bar, so I think you appreciate it once you are actually living here. But the biggest thing we need to talk about is the new price, so let's get into my final verdict. After a $125,000 price improvement, it's now offered at just under $1.5 million. You're getting a little over 2,900 square feet, plus those 4 bedrooms, office, 2.5 bath, a fenced outdoor space, an attached garage, and a Kirkland address. So I want to know what you think. Are you buying this house? And what would you change if this were yours? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for touring this one with me, and I'll see you in the next video.